Hello, everybody. We are glad to have author Aravind with us, who has published two wonderful books with the right order. Congratulations, firstly, sir, for publishing a book, for becoming a published author. How is the feeling? How is the feeling after you've published two books?
Yep. Thank you very much for this session, Deeksha, and glad to be collaborate with the right order for publishing this book. Yeah, I think it's a nice feeling, right? I think you start with something and then you work on it for a period of 12, 18
Correct.
months in terms of creating the book, editing it, going through
Correct.
the phases.
Correct.
And then having my first book in my hand when I opened it, it is actually a very, very nice feeling. It's kind of an
Perfect. Correct.
accomplishment. Uh, and I think once you have done that, I think the anxiousness starts in terms of how people is going to receive it, etc.
Correct.
So,
Correct. Correct.
yeah,
So
yeah.
how has the view of people around you been like? How have they perceived the book? How have they taken the book?
The initial feedback was very good.
Okay.
I think when I gave it to my beta readers, I think, and my personal editor, and also I
Correct.
think there was a very positive feedback. I think I started off writing it in Tamil, and then in fact my editor actually pushed me to say I think this deserves
Yes,
to be
and
published in English, etc. So that's
correct.
how it all started. So I was a bit excited, but
Mhm.
closer to the launch, it was very anxious to see how it is.
Correct.
I have started receiving feedbacks.
Correct.
It is quite positive so far. I think how I would say is there are a couple of things really got me moving. One is someone said, uh, they finished almost 200 pages out of 300 pages in one sitting. I
Oh
think,
wow, that's a great compliment to get. Yeah.
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 Yeah, so I think that's was moving, and then one another friend was also saying that uh, had his daughter started reading it rather
Okay.
than him. So he says that you were able to connect it to a teens and a young adult also. So
Correct.
I think
Correct.
that's I
That's a
think
good.
yeah, I think that's how it started. But I think more reviews and more feedback is on the way, I would say.
Correct. Correct. Wonderful. Wonderful. Glad to hear that, sir. So, before we, deep dive into the book and your experiences more with the book, I want to understand how was your initial, your childhood days with the world of literature. Are you more of a reader or were you always a writer? How was it like?
Uh, Actually, I'm a very visual person. Okay,
Okay.
uh, I think I kind of imagine things. I kind
Mhm.
of imagine situations on how it will be, how I need to react, etc., etc. So I think that is my basic personality, I would say.
Right.
So I kind of visualize situations. I tend to say if this happens, how I would
Correct.
react or how
Correct.
people would have reacted, etc. So I think that's my kind of personality as such. But
Uh,
uh, I think I'm not a very vivid reader.
mhm.
I like to watch a lot of movies, and I
Mhm.
would like to imagine what would have
Relatable.
happened if it is alternative climax or how it would have happened, etc. I think I'm that kind of an person.
Correct.
Um, I think the whether I'm able to articulate stories and other things, it's kind of started with I was trying to make my daughter put to sleep. It's all started at that level actually.
Correct. Correct.
And then, she used to come up with a vague title, and I
Okay.
used to. So
Okay.
it's like she gives me a title, and then I kind of tell her a story to put
Uh-huh.
her into sleep. It starts like that,
Correct.
and then suddenly my wife said, "Your stories are really good." You know,
Mm-hmm.
she was listening on the other side, and then said,
Correct. Correct.
"Good." Then that's where the whole I identified that I'm able to do something like this.
Correct. Correct.
Then uh,
So, do you
then I
believe
took
you
it.
were like a born storyteller, or you picked up the skill with various experiences?
Correct.
How was
Correct.
it? So
I
it
think
was.
it's not. I think born storyteller. Maybe I imagine a lot of things. I think
Mhm.
it's more that imagination where
Correct.
I'm able to create my own world and
Correct.
able to put it in. I think that is born trait. It's not something
Hmm.
which I've cultivated it.
Correct.
I think the writing of it or articulation of it is something which I have cultivated in the last 2 to 3 years, I would say.
Correct, correct,
Um, and then I had my own way of, plotting it, my
correct,
own way of coming up with a theme and how we wanted to say it, etc. So I am very particular about what I should not say. And
correct.
then I try to say what I can say, right? I
What you
think
can.
there is a
Correct.
bigger portion of it. I think that's how it is all developed. So I think I would say there is a natural, God. I don't know whether it is a God gifted or not, but I think
I
I'm
think
able to do things, and then
the way
I
I see it, I think that that creative element or the ability to imagine, that's something which comes in from childhood or something that we are maybe born with. But utilize it and to make it into a story form, I think is something we all develop over years.
correct,
That's what I
correct,
perceive it as. Yeah.
correct, correct,
That's
correct.
nice. That's nice. So, do you remember, any, first article that you wrote or something like that, something from school days that was perceived well from people or something of that sort?
Um, I think the first blog I wrote is about cricket. Um,
Okay,
and
nice.
and I'm a huge fan of Rahul Dravid. So when he retired,
Wonderful.
so
Nice,
I
nice.
think when he retired, I thought I need to put it in, and then I kind of wrote a blog.
Mm-hmm.
And then it actually reached the
Oh,
Lalit Modi, the ex IPL
correct.
chairman,
Okay.
and then he retweeted, and then there is a lot of people who were able to commenting on it at that time. That was unexpected, but it happened.
That's nice.
I think that's my first one, and then I was trying to get into blogging,
Mm-hmm.
and my I would say I'm very close to the how the emotions part of it will work with the humans, how the psychology part of it will like. So try to explore those things. But I
Right.
was not very serious, I would say. I think I write once in a while, but and then I don't do it. I get into work and stuff like that. Then I come back
Correct.
and do some days. Then I go back. So it's like that. I think COVID basically put me into place, I would say, in that regard.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because being working in a bank,
Uh-huh.
working in the stuff, focusing on other things is kind of very difficult. But
Okay.
I think COVID kind of gave
Correct.
me that space to focus and see what I can do it. And
Correct.
now I'm a lot more intense and focused on what I can do in this space.
Correct. So one thing that I got on from this conversation is you wrote the book first in Tamil and then translated it to English. Was it challenging? Firstly, I think overall also regional languages, the people who are reading that much of regional languages or Hindi or anything has maybe drastically reduced over the past few years. So was that thought in your mind as well that the reader base has reduced, or was there any challenge in particular to write in regional language?
Um, no, I think it's more a comfort zone for me to think in a regional language and write in a regional language.
Correct.
And I think I'm able to articulate a particular scene or a particular emotion
Correct.
better in Tamil, I would
Correct.
say. So I think I don't want to disturb that. I think
Correct.
I think being part of the creative process is not about language or grammar or vocabulary. I think it is about getting the creative juice going
Correct.
in and the flow going in, and you keep writing it. You can always go back, fine tune, make it
Correct.
better.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
so I think the creative flow and the thinking process is for me it works better in Tamil. So I think I did that, and also I think I was very conscious about not get into a too literary component of it. I just wanted to have it like a language which IT people use, the language with these youths use. I think I don't want to get into a very niche
Yeah.
side, but I want to keep it in a version which everyone can relate to,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
I think so. That's what I started off with. And then my initial thought process is I want to publish only in Tamil. I was not
Mm-hmm.
thinking about publishing it in English till
Mm-hmm.
my editor, Divya, she said, this deserves to be in English. You
Mm-hmm.
have, if this genre has a lot more audience in English, you don't restrict yourself to Tamil, is what she pushed me actually. Then I said,
Correct.
okay, I think let's do it. And then I took extra 6 months to do the English translation and stuff, but it all came out well. I think thanks to her, I think she pushed me for this.
That's good. That's wonderful. Um, So, is there any, message that you would want to pass on to people who are writing in regional languages and who might have certain fears about audience base and maybe that ability to connect with people? Is there anything that you want to pass
I,
on to people who are still
yeah,
starting to?
I think, first of all, if your storyline is good,
Mm-hmm.
if you are able to connect with people,
Mm-hmm.
I think book readers is going to appreciate that.
Absolutely.
I think that's very very important, right? I
Correct.
think you can have a greatest of vocabulary, but if you're still not able to get a flow or get a hold of
That
readers, then I
connectivity.
think
Correct. Correct.
I think then the vocabulary is of no use, at least from a book reading or a book writing point of view. So I think if I that is the base according to me, right? I think you put your soul into the characterization, you put a soul into the storyline, then things happens, right?
Correct.
if
Absolutely.
Even if you are not able to write it in English, or if you are not able to do it, I think there are people who can able to do the translation for you, and still the script is yours, the words, the emotions is yours, is everything is yours, right? I think we should not hesitate to get into that zone, get
Correct.
help from people who can able to do that better. Then I think we should get help and do it, right? I think there is no shame in saying that I'm not doing it. I think it's yours, your baby. The story is
Correct.
your baby, the
Correct.
emotions is your baby, and that is how it is, right? So I think there is no harm in taking that help. I think another thing which I would suggest is, even from a regional leader writer's point of view, when I said, I'm writing it, there's a lot of people said, even I want to do it, but I'm not doing it. I just say, if you want to do something, just do it. I think
True.
there is
Correct.
no right time or wrong time, or there is nothing like that actually. You
Mm-hmm.
just you just be passionate about what you wanted to do, allocate time.
Mm-hmm.
I think time you don't find, you can't say there is no time. I think you can find time. There is a bit of a
Correct.
planning required. But
Correct.
if you have a passion and you like doing it, you will find time to do that. I think there is absolutely no excuse for that. So my advice or my suggestion would be, I think advice would be a bigger word. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
starting. So my suggestion would be, if you want to do something, you just go ahead and do it, right? I think it's a very simple.
Absolutely. Correct. Was there, any favorite part or a favorite character for you in your own story? Something that you absolutely loved writing about?
uh, I think there are three characters which I'm very close to.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm writing it, I think when I was editing it, I was imagining myself into that character.
Nice. Yeah.
And then I was trying to edit it 3, 4 times so that I play one character and then I try to write it that way. I think the protagonist, the Ilamaran, the main character. I
Mm-hmm.
think there is a lot of connectivity between my, how I used to think in those days, in my younger
Mm-hmm.
days. I was trying to put that into the character and kind of put it in. I think, and then there is another character, Maya, uh,
Mm-hmm.
who acts as Ilamaran's girlfriend and others. But I think her graph in the book
Story.
is like very close, because she comes in as a ruthless IT team lead who
Mm-hmm.
does anything from a career point of view to a proper, or I don't say proper is not the right word, but I think she evolves as a person and
Mm-hmm.
wants get into a proper family life and how we wants to go, etc., without compromising the career components. I think that was that graph. I was able to bring it in to say, you don't need to take side. If you can
Correct.
able
Balance both of it.
And then I think there's another character, Divya. I think she is, again, in a corporate life, how you look up to a leader or how you look up to a mentor, kind of a thing. I think I was able to bring that in. But I
Mm-hmm.
think more than that, I think there's another character who is a side character,
Mm-hmm.
but who's Ilamaran's mother character.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't come throughout the book, but she
Mm-hmm.
just comes in and other things. But there is a lot of things I brought in terms of how the woman at 50s and 60s probably
Correct.
maybe thinking that
Mm-hmm.
they could have done a lot. or
Uh-huh.
they didn't they make a right decision, or they could have done it differently, etc. So those advices, how she interacts with Ilamaran and Maya, I was trying to bring that phase of it in
Correct.
between in terms of what it's. I think those are, say for example, she says Ilamaran was, I think one scene, if I want to say,
Mm.
Ilamaran, was not happy with his father, and he kinds of, vent it out. And she just says, no, no, I think it is his decision. He has made his decision to live his life. There is
Correct.
nothing wrong in that.
Correct.
And,
Correct.
we are all accountable for what we do.
Correct.
And he did that. I
Mm.
don't have guts because I am afraid of the society, and I did not do that but he did it. And we
Correct.
can't be able to complain and say he did wrong or I did it right. No, I think I
Correct.
was I was just hesitant because the society may judge me. He
Judge.
did not
Correct.
look after that. So I think I was trying to able to bring these things into the whole narration, though
Correct.
these are not a main story plot or something, but I was able to bring this angle to it from a
Correct.
woman perspective on how they would have led them. So I think these four characters is very close to me that way.
Very nice. Very nice. So, are there any more storylines brewing? Are there more books coming in?
I think there's a part 2 and 3 to this book.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that I've started writing.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing some research on that. I think that is coming through definitely.
Nice.
In between uh, the memory paradox, I think last year I wrote another short story which is around
Okay.
100 pages.
Uh-huh.
So now I think I'm publishing that in Amazon just as a ebook.
Got it.
I think people have read it. I've shared blog, but I just
Mm-hmm.
wanted to put it into this. I think that will be available in Amazon as an ebook maybe next month.
Okay.
And then I also have 2 or 3 more storylines, but I need to find time to write it and
Okay.
put it in. And there is also, I think I've been approached by one of the script writer to a director to say whether I'm able to do that. So I don't know.
Very nice.
I think it's a long journey, so I'm not
Very
getting to that
interesting.
yet.
Very interesting, sir. So, one final question: how has your experience with the right order been, sir?
I think it's been pretty good. I think this is my first formal publishing with the publishing company, so I think it's been very good. I think I was able to learn, you know, uh, with you guys to say what is publishing is and what I need to, what we need to do, etc. I think it's been quite a pleasure working with you guys, collaborating with you guys in the
Glad,
last.
sir. Very, very glad. And I think, this was, there were, there were roadblocks, there were hiccups, but I think we managed to push through. And this was a very nice project for me also to personally work on. Wishing you all the very best, sir. I hope this book does really, really well in the markets, and also very, wishing you all the best for everything that you've planned in the future as well. Thank you for giving us this time and this interview. All the best, sir. And everybody, you can buy the copies on Amazon. We will be dropping down a link below. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you, Deeksha. Thank you.
Thank you.